I'm Zach Mullins. I teach middle school science at Emelina Elementary, and this is Aquaponics in action. We found out through the entrepreneurship program that KVEC offers that we could apply for a grant to create a school business. And my students saw that we had a greenhouse that wasn't being used. So they wanted to do something with our greenhouse, but it's kind of small. So I told them, I said, if you guys can find me a way that we can utilize this space, I'll write it up, we'll go for it. Well, they came back to me about 2 days later with aquaponics. How many of you guys have ever heard of aquaponics before? Good. That's more than I thought would. This system allowed us to maximize our space to produce not only our produce that we chose to do, but we also get to grow fish at the same time. It gives the business 2 different sources of revenue throughout the school year. Once we realized that we wanted to do it and we were going to apply, we needed to know what type we wanted to do. And this is the exact picture that they brought me. We chose to do a flood and drain style system. It's got a large tank, a small tank, and a grow bed. You pump the water from the large tank into the grow bed, and it drains down into the small tank. The large tank we have runs on a timer. The pump kicks on 3 times a day and runs for 3 minutes each time. It floods our bed, it drains down into our sump tank, and that's run on a float switch. So once the water level gets so high, never overflowing the tank, it'll kick on and drain it back down to a suitable level. Once we figured out the system, I put the work back on my students' shoulders. I said, you guys need to tell me what type of plants we're going to grow and what type of fish we need. Because I had never put one of these together. This was all student-driven. They came back and suggested that we use tilapia. They basically can grow in anything. They're also pretty profitable, it turns out. They sell for about $3 a pound, and each fish gets between 1 and 3 pounds. Of course, everybody loves strawberries. Students looked around. We thought about doing tomatoes at first, but turns out that they don't do well in this type of system. So they came back with strawberries. Ended up being pretty profitable. They sell for about $2 a pound, and working with our local extension office, we were able to get the plants for free. It was a pretty nice help from them because it saved us quite a bit of money. The learning process for the kids was amazing. To watch them really take hold of this and do the research on their own and come to me with suggestions and really lead the project was great for me. They were able to work with precise measurement because we had to build this thing from scratch. We had no grow bed, we had no tank, nothing. So we come up with a list, went out with a tape measure, measured everything out, figured out how big of a grow bed we could do. Ended up being, I think, 8 feet by 4 feet, and figured out what size tank we could fit. Ended up with a 250-gallon tank that we could fit in our little bitty greenhouse. I also put all of the work on them when it comes to monitoring and knowing everything that's going on with the water quality. I'm a hands-on teacher. In my science room, we're always doing stuff with our hands. So they go out once a day, 2 different kids. They have to test the pH level and tell me what that is when they come in. And they've also got to test the ammonia level to make sure that the fish are healthy, happy, and living the way they need to live. Turns out our tank was a little bit too big, so this is 2 of my male students. They had to take the walls off of the greenhouse to fit the tank in. So we took the greenhouse apart, slid our tank in, and put it all back together. We built the grow bed ourselves and lined it with 8 mil PVC plastic sheeting to keep the water sealed in the bed. You can see our tank. I had them mark it to the water level so we know if we ever lose any water. And there's our little fish. Turns out that tilapia can live in just about anything. All the research the kids did, because I made them tell me how many we could put in this tank. All the research said we could fit about 50 fish in there. It also said that we were going to lose about 30% within the first 3 weeks. So I ordered 75 fish. After 3 months of being in the tank now, we've lost a total of 3 fish. So we are way overstocked. I'm in the process of trying to find a second tank so we can expand our system a little bit more. This strawberry plant had been in our system for about 5 days, and it had already started to bloom out. There's my kids out enjoying it. We just put all the strawberry plants in. They're fascinated with the fish. The one thing I didn't show you guys is I didn't have time to put them in, but that picture was taken about, I think, 4 weeks ago, and the strawberry plants were about 3 inches tall. We went out there yesterday, and they're about 8 inches tall. They're growing at a rapid rate.